What up, y'all? This is your boy, Mr. Downtown Ray Melo, and you're listening to the Entertainment Report for Tuesday, November 18th, 2014, delivering some of the major stories and trends going on in the world of entertainment and beyond. You can follow the show on Facebook or on Twitter, facebook.com/The Entertainment Report with Ray Melo, that's RAYMELO, or on Twitter at The Enter Report. You can also listen to the program anytime you want on iHeartRadio. Just search for The Entertainment Report on either the iHeartRadio website or app, and it'll take you to our page. Former supermodel Janice Dickinson is the latest woman to accuse legendary comedian and TV icon Bill Cosby of sexually assault. Dickinson, who's 59, made the claims on Entertainment Tonight during an interview with Kevin Frazier, saying that Cosby raped her in 1982. She told Frazier that Cosby invited her in 1982 to Lake Tahoe, where he was performing, to offer her an acting job and provide advice on her singing career. She alleges that they went to dinner in Tahoe, where he gave her red wine and a pill that she asked for to alleviate her menstruation pain. According to Dickinson, she then lost consciousness. She said, "The next morning I woke up and I wasn't wearing my pajamas, and I remember before I passed out that I had been sexually assaulted by this man," she said. "Before I woke up in the morning, the last thing I remember was Bill Cosby in the patchwork robe, dropping his robe and getting on top of me." Dickinson said she was in a lot of pain when she woke, and she remembers, quote, "waking up, my pajamas off, and there was semen in between my legs." The former America's Next Top Model judge claims that she included the story in the first draft of her 2002 memoir, No Lifeguard on Duty, The Accidental Life of the World's First Supermodel, but she said that Cosby and his legal team demanded that publisher HarperCollins remove the passage. Dickinson said that she did not initially come forward with her story because she was afraid of being stigmatized for trying to sleep her way to the top, but now she wants to support the other accusers. She said, "I'm doing this because it's the right thing to do, and it happened to me, and this is a true story," she said. "I believe all the other women." When asked what she would say to Cosby now, she said she would tell him, "Go fuck yourself. How dare you take advantage of me, and I hope you rot." She was the latest in the string of accusers to come forward. Former actress Joan Tarish spoke to CNN on Monday to share her details of Cosby allegedly raping her in 1969. Barbara Bauman, another alleged victim, wrote in a Washington Post op-ed last week, stated that she was drugged and raped by Cosby in the 1980s. In 2006, Cosby settled out of court with Andrea Constant, who claims he sexually assaulted her. In a statement released Sunday, Cosby's rep said that the resurfaced allegations are untrue, although lawyers for Cosby and Constant clarified that this statement did not refer to Constant's situation. Cosby himself refused to respond to questions about the claims during an NPR interview on Saturday. The allegations have caused a public uproar since comedian Hannibal Buress addressed them on stage last month. Cosby's reps did not immediately respond to a request for comment on Dickinson's allegations. One of TV's biggest mysteries may soon be solved. Nielsen Media, the company with the standard measure of U.S. TV ratings, has announced plans to measure subscription online video services like Netflix, reports the Wall Street Journal. Netflix and Amazon Prime have long been mum on ratings for both acquired programs and original series, and independent data on streaming services has been especially lackluster. Nielsen's measurements will not yet include mobile device views for a streaming series, but the company plans to use the content's audio to identify which shows are being streamed. Nielsen's plans to tabulate the data for clients, media companies like traditional TV networks and studios to see how their acquired content is performing on services like Netflix and Amazon. This could have a big effect on negotiations for streaming rights and bundles down the line. Nielsen's Senior Vice President Brian Fuhrer told the Wall Street Journal, "Our clients will be able to look at their programs and understand, is putting content on Netflix impacting the viewership on linear and traditional video on demand. This also means that Netflix and its blockbuster series such as Orange is the New Black and House of Cards could potentially have transparent viewership data, at least for those willing to pay for it." Netflix's adamant secrecy about ratings has been a source of debate and deep speculation in Hollywood since the streamer stepped out of its original content in 2013. Not only is there a curiosity to know the kind of audiences that fueling Emmy love and pop culture affections for shows like Orange is the New Black, the lack of viewership data is something that will figure into negotiations with writers and actors as the young stable grows older. For now, the intent of the initiative is aimed to give media companies more clarity on where they choose to place streaming rights for their shows and for how much. In the era of fractured viewership, binge watching and time shifting has become abundantly clear that no audience can go uncounted. New details from the Orange County Coroner's Report have revealed that American Idol Season 7 finalist Michael Johns died from an enlarged heart and a fatty liver. The 35-year-old singer, who died on August 1st after sustaining an injury to his leg, was originally reported to have passed from a blood clot in his ankle. Members of his family said that the injury triggered a blood clot, but other sources said alcohol was to blame, according to TMZ. A fatty liver can be caused by drinking excessive amounts of alcohol. The Orange County Coroner's Report concludes that John died of dilated cardiomyopathy, a condition that inhibits the flow of blood to his body and causes his heart to enlarge. Johns competed on the Fox Music Show in 2008, finishing in 8th place. He followed with a full-length album in 2009, Hold Back My Heart, which included the single Heart on My Sleeve. Johns was a favorite of Grammy-winning producer David Foster and performed on his PBS special Hitman, David Foster and Friends. He also appeared on a 2012 episode of Real Housewives of Beverly Hills, which starred Foster's wife, Yolanda. The lawsuit filed by Kelly Hyland and her two daughters against their Dance Moms co-star Abby Lee Miller and the reality show's production company will go ahead without its claims of defamation or infliction of emotional distress. The decision from Los Angeles Superior Court Judge Ruth Ann Kwan closely follows what the judge indicated in hearings in August. In the Friday's ruling, she permits several other claims from the Hylands, including negligence and breach of contract. The Hylands sued Miller, whose dance studio is in the focus of the Lifetime series, in Collins Avenue Entertainment in February, with a complaint that claims $5 million in damages and includes allegations of assault. The defendants responded with several motions to strike, which they premise on California's anti-SLAPP statute, a law that protects free speech from frivolous lawsuits. The reality series is covered by SLAPP, so the burden was shifted to the Hylands to prove their claims were likely to succeed in court. That wasn't the case with their claims of infliction of emotional distress, the judge found. The Hylands lawsuit accused Miller of a quote domineering and offending, bullying, and insulting leadership style that traumatized her students, including Paige and Brooke Hyland. Miller threw a chair in one confrontation with Paige, the complaint claims, and would often bring the girls to tears. Her treatment allegedly caused Paige to begin having panic attacks, which led school counselors to conclude that Paige was being bullied by Miller. Kwan didn't buy it. In August, she noted that there was no psychiatric diagnosis that tied the girl's anxiety to Dance Mom. She said, "That's assuming nothing else goes on in the life of a young child," she said. The defamation claims arose from an altercation between Miller and Kelly Hyland in November 2013. An argument escalated over competition, and Miller allegedly repeatedly lounged towards Kelly, gnashed her teeth loudly, attempting to bite Kelly, causing Hyland to slap Miller and pull her hair. Hyland was arrested and charged with assault. In interviews following the incident, Miller allegedly implied that Hyland is an unfit mother and an alcoholic, and said that Hyland had been pulled out of clumps of her hair. The Hylands claims the remarks are defamatory, but Kwan wasn't convinced. The statements about Hyland's competency as a mother wouldn't likely be found slanderous because they were subjective rather than fictional, the judge said. While the Hylands attorneys, Michael Shapiro and Marcus Jackson, argued that the accusations of hair pulling rises to the standards of defamation because Miller said Hyland actually pulled out clumps of her hair, a criminal offense, Kwan argued a jury wouldn't likely to make the same distinction. The conflict has perhaps unsurprisingly led to a dispute over the Hylands' contract and appearances on the reality show. The Hylands said they have only made sporadic appearances in recent episodes, but they contend they still owe weekly compensation for the episodes in which they were able to appear. They claim they own an assortment of other sums too, likely a weekly babysitting allowance and $21,000 for damages to the floor of their house. Those claims stand a chance of succeeding, Kwan felt. Nikki Lee Barber Foster, the daughter of legendary singer Peggy Lee and guitarist Dave Barber, died Friday of complications from a stroke at St. Luke's Magic Valley Medical Center in Twin Falls, Idaho. She was 71. Foster served as the director emeritus of Peggy Lee's Associates, the Los Angeles-based company that she helped form to manage branding, licensing, and development activities related to Lee and her catalog of more than 1,100 songs. The company is now run by her daughter and Lee's granddaughter, Holly Foster Wells. Lee, the famed jazz and pop singer and actress known for such songs as Fever, Is That All There Is, It's a Good Day, and Mañana, the latter two collaborations with Barber, met the first of her four husbands when they were performing with Benny Goodman's band. Lee and Barber were married from 1943 until the divorce in 1951. He died in 1965. She died in 2002. A native of Los Angeles, Foster in 1983 moved to New York to help her mother mount the autobiographical musical Peg on Broadway. She later directed children's community theater and starred in stage and radio productions in Sun Valley. In addition to her daughter, she's survived by her sons David and Michael, grandchildren Tegan, Carter, Keaton, and Caleb, and great-grandchildren Mila, Sydney, Benjamin, and cousin Holly. Donations in Foster's names can be made to the Sun Club, a nonprofit recovery fellowship and resource center that she helped establish in Sun Valley. FX has boarded BBC's drama Taboo. The cable network has acquired stateside rights to broadcast the drama starring Tom Hardy from Stephen Wright and Ridley Scott, FX announced Tuesday. Taboo is created by Knight and is based on an original story by Hardy and his father, Chips Hardy, who is on board as consulting producer. Scott and Kate Crow will executive produce alongside the younger Hardy and Dean Barker for Hardy, Sons, and Baker, Knight and Sonar's Gene Stein. Set in 1813, Taboo follows a rogue adventurer played by Hardy who returns to England from Africa with 14 ill-gotten diamonds to seek vengeance after the death of his father. Refusing to sell the family business to the East India Company, he sets out to build his own trade and shipping empire and finds himself playing a dangerous game with two warring nations, Britain and America. Godfrey London and Hardy, Son, and Baker are producing the project for BBC One and Sonar Entertainment, which is distributing the series in territories outside the UK. Production on the 8-episode first season is set to begin in mid to late 2015 in the UK for a 2016 debut. Hardy, who will reunite with Locke writer-director Knight, said Taboo is the first major production our company, Hardy, Son, and Baker, is setting sail on. It gives me great pleasure to know that we are in partnerships with FX and the BBC. I believe with the high center of creative talent with Stephen Knight and Ridley Scott at the helm, and with the support and backing of these two great broadcasters, we have found the perfect home and team for Taboo. One Direction hit the Today Show in Orlando this morning to promote their new album 4, but unfortunately performed with the man down. Zayn Malik was absent and not for the first time. He was also missing in the videos the band made to accept their recent awards from the MTV EMAs. According to Lane Payne, Malik was having stomach issues. He explained he got a tummy bug, so he's not very well. We only found out this morning, so we're really sad. He is as well that he can't be here for our album release. However, today's show host Matt Lauer didn't entirely believe this excuse. Is it something more serious than just a minor illness? He wondered, mentioning rumors of substance abuse and asking when is he going to rejoin the band. Payne noted that, quote, we are One Direction without Zayn, but the band still had to perform, so they continued with a melody of hits, which included the recent single Steal My Girl. A rep for the band told Billboard they don't have further comments regarding Malik beyond what Payne said. Billy Eichner is going from USA News to Hulu after filming pilot presentation Difficult People for USA Network. Streaming service Hulu has picked up the comedy with a straight-to-series order, The Hollywood Reporter has learned. In Difficult People, which Billy on the Street, Emmy-nominated host Eichner and head writer Julie Cosno created, the duo stars as best friends living in New York City. With the series centering on their typical irrelevant behavior, it lands them in some very awkward situations. Cosner wrote the pilot and executive produces alongside Amy Poehler and 3 Arts' Dave Becky. The comedy hails from Universal Cable Productions and marks the cable-focused studio's first series order at Hulu. Production begins early next year. Amy Poehler, Billy Eichner, Julie Klausner are a dream team of comedic possibilities. We're looking forward to bringing this hilarious view of the world to Hulu with our partners at Universal Cable Productions, said Craig Ehrich, Senior Vice President and Head of Content at Hulu. NBC's The Voice has had its first weekly double elimination. As Carson Daly announced at the beginning of the broadcast, all limited 12 top singers will get a chance to rejoin the competition as a fan favorite for wildcard finalists. Even more so, whoever escaped the night's cuts will be able to learn from a new corp of guest mentors next week. Diana Ross, Colby Calais, Megan Trainor, and Patrick Stump of the Fallout Boys. After a handful of performances, The Hollywood Reporter covered star Gwen Stefani and her team on Jamaica-rooted track The Tide is High, made famous by Blondie. Blake Shelton and History on Elton John's Sad Songs, and British artist Ella Henderson. The bottom three were revealed. And America's votes were consistent. All three of the contestants on the chopping block were coaches saved from previous weeks, an ironic result given the announcement of the wildcard opportunity just minutes before. Will that singer actually soar for the win on the ultimate second chance? The three singers with the lowest number of viewer votes on their Monday night performance were challenged to perform for the hashtag InstaSave, which has audience at home voting during a fragile 5-minute window via Twitter or the app application to keep one of the endangered singers in the competition. Team Blake's Jesse Pitts opted for Sarah Bareilles' stripped-down ballad Gravity. Pharrell Jones' Sugar Jones went on the untouchable Whitney Houston Go Big or Go Home Right, with the many big notes of I Want to Dance with Somebody. And Team Gwen, Brian Sills shot for the audience-sensitive side of her extreme More Than Words. And that is your entertainment report for Tuesday, November 18, 2014. I'm your host, Mr. Downtown Ray Melo. I'll be back tomorrow to deliver some of the major stories and trends going on in the world of entertainment. You can follow the show on Facebook or on Twitter, or if you want, you can listen to the show anytime you want on iHeartRadio. Just go to the iHeartRadio website or the app and click on the Entertainment Report, and it'll automatically take you there where you can listen to this episode or any previous episodes of the show. Have a great day, everybody. I will see you tomorrow. Bye.